Welcome, kids. Today's story is about a brave boy named David who trusted God and faced a giant named Goliath. It's a story of faith, courage, and victory, showing that with God, nothing is impossible. A long time ago, the Israelites and Philistines were at war. The armies stood on two hills, staring at each other across the valley of Elah. Suddenly, out from the Philistine camp came a giant named Goliath. He was over 9 feet tall, wearing shining bronze armor that glowed in the sun. His spear was as big as a tree trunk. Every morning and evening, for 40 days, Goliath shouted his challenge. He boomed, "Choose one man to fight me. If he wins, we'll serve you. But if I win, you'll serve us." But the Israelites were terrified. Even King Saul didn't know what to do. The whole army was frozen in fear, listening to the giant's threats day after day. It seemed like there was no one brave enough to face this enemy. The situation looked hopeless, and the soldiers' spirits grew lower with every sunrise. Far away in Bethlehem, there was a young shepherd boy named David. He was kind, cheerful, and loved to sing songs to God while caring for his sheep. He wasn't a soldier. He spent his days in the fields, making sure his flock was safe and sound. When wild animals came, like lions or bears, David trusted God to protect him and his flock. He wasn't afraid because he believed God was always with him. This young boy had a heart full of courage that came from his deep faith. One day, David's father, Jesse, called him. He said, "David, take this food to your brothers at the battlefield and see how they are doing." David was always eager to help. He packed fresh bread, some cheese, and roasted grain, said goodbye to his sheep, and hurried off to the army camp, ready to serve and help his family and his people. When David reached the camp, he heard a loud, thundering voice echo across the valley. It was Goliath again. Everyone trembled with fear, but David's eyes widened. He listened to the giant's insulting words and felt a fire light up inside him. He asked the soldiers nearby, "Who is this giant that dares to insult the army of the living God?" His older brothers overheard him and were not happy. His brother Eliab scolded him, saying, "Go home, David. You're just a shepherd boy. You only came here to watch the battle." But David stood firm. He wasn't there just to watch. He felt God calling him to do something. He replied confidently, "I may be small, but the Lord will help me fight this giant." King Saul heard about David's courage and called him to his tent. The king was concerned. "You're only a boy," he said. "Goliath is a mighty warrior. He has been fighting since he was young." But David explained, "When lions or bears attacked my sheep, I fought them off. The same God who saved me then will save me now." King Saul looked into David's brave eyes and saw his unshakable faith. He finally said, "Go, and may the Lord be with you." King Saul wanted to help David prepare. He tried to put his own armor on the young boy. He placed a heavy bronze helmet on David's head and dressed him in a coat of mail. But David could barely move. He wobbled and laughed. "I can't walk in this. It's too heavy. I'm not used to it." So David took off the king's armor. He didn't need a soldier's protection because he had God's protection. Instead, he picked up his shepherd's staff, the one he used every day. He walked to a nearby stream and carefully chose 5 smooth stones, placing them in his shepherd's pouch. With his sling in his hand and complete faith in his heart, David stepped onto the battlefield. He walked out into the valley, ready to face the giant not with heavy weapons, but with the strength of the Lord. Goliath saw the young boy approaching and roared with laughter. He felt insulted that the Israelites would send a shepherd to fight him. He mocked David, shouting, "Come here, boy. I'll feed you to the birds." But David was not afraid. His voice rang out, bold and clear, for everyone to hear. "You come with a sword and spear, but I come in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. Today the Lord will give me victory, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel." Goliath charged forward with a roar, expecting an easy victory, but David ran quickly to meet him. He reached into his bag, took out one smooth stone, and placed it in his sling. He swung it around and around, faster and faster. The stone flew straight and true, hitting Goliath right on the forehead. The giant stumbled, his eyes wide with shock. Then he fell face down with a thunderous crash. David had done it. With just a sling, a stone, and his faith in God, he defeated the giant. The Philistines were stunned. When they saw their champion fall, they turned and ran away in fear. The Israelites shouted with joy. A great cheer rose from the camp as they chased after their enemies. God had saved his people through the faith of a young shepherd boy who dared to trust him. After the battle, King Saul asked, "Whose son are you, young man?" David answered, "I am the son of your servant Jesse of Bethlehem." From that day on, everyone knew that God was with David. He wasn't just a shepherd boy anymore. He was a hero who showed everyone what it means to have faith. Kids, remember this. When you face your own giants, big fears, problems, or challenges, trust in God. He can use you, no matter how small you feel, to do amazing things. The battle belongs to the Lord. Be brave. Trust God. You can defeat your giants. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.